Good afternoon, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this is your weekend news brief. First of all, I wanted to show off a tweet that a friend of mine on Twitter found on the CIA FOIA library website. This is Jesse Collins' Twitter profile right here, and this is me retweeting it. This is a memo that was declassified by the CIA. Let's take a closer look and see why it's of import. So right here, we're just going to read through it. You can see that it's dated 10th of July, 1963, so right before the Kennedy assassination. It says, number one, regarding, I believe that would be paragraph 1 of reference document, dupes have been ordered and will be shipped as soon as available. 2, regarding paragraph 2 of reference, action has been taken. 3, noted paragraph 3 of reference. 4, regarding paragraph 4 of reference, we are pouching paper prepared by ARMS regarding their program for producing maps from keyhole photography. Included are several references to contouring. Number 5, regarding paragraph 5 of reference, redacted has received no reports for D5, mission 9047, but reports were received for unit number 100, grid number 102, in November 1962 at the time of mission 9047. No information regarding use of D5 on any mission is available. We currently are checking to see if possibly number 100 was renumbered D5. We'll advise as soon as information is available. Top secret. End of message. All right, so obviously this came to his attention because it's got D5 referenced several times. It also is from right around the time of the Kennedy assassination. But it doesn't reference Dallas. However, it does reference dupes. Does that mean patsies? Well, I went to the CIA website and I looked around a little bit myself, and I found this document on launch site D5. So maybe this is what they're referring to. I tend to think it is just because they're talking about keyhole photography and several references to contouring. So it seems like maybe this has something to do with spying on Soviet missile sites. And here it is, the ICBM complex in Tatishevo, USSR. I don't speak Russian, guys, so don't come on me too hard. Handle via talent keyhole control only. And here, there's a warning about the fact that it's top secret. National Photographic Interpretation Center, it's talking about launch site D5. Approximately 14.5 nautical miles west-northwest of the complex support facility. And here's an actual picture of site D5. There's the missile silo right there, probable fence, and a pile of soil. Top secret rough. Okay, so then I wanted to look into mission number 9047. So this is from October 1963, just prior to the Kennedy assassination. And let's see, what do they say? Mission Coverage Index, mission 9047, 5 through 9, November 1962. This is a lengthy document, so I'm not going to go over it, but basically, this furnishes a compilation of intelligence targets covered by this mission. Items in this compilation are arranged in 3 sections. Provides summary information, provides a listing of targets, and provides a listing of those targets which cannot be identified. All 3 sections are arranged by country, within a country by subject, within a subject by WAC area, and within a WAC area by coordinates, reading from north to south and east to west. And there's maps, too. So we go a little bit deeper. And here is a list of subjects: missiles, air installations, nuclear energy, military naval installations, CBR warfare, electronics, communications, industry, basic services, ports and harbors, research and development, storage, urban complexes, miscellaneous. And then here are different countries. We get through there. And let's see. Summary of Section 1 provides a summary of information for newly identified targets. Previously reported targets would show a change, and all targets showing order of battle information. And it's pretty dry. I mean, this is hundreds of pages. I've looked through the whole thing. But it just gives you breakdowns of all of the places in the USSR and in these other countries where there are missile locations. So the other thing of note is that the cable is referring to this mission, which was also right before the Cuban Missile Crisis. Or was it October? Hang on. I lost it. It was either right before, I believe it was right before the Cuban Missile Crisis. I'd have to look it up. I don't want to do it while I'm on camera here, guys. But I would encourage everybody to go and check this stuff out. I mean, if you go do a search for D5 on the CIA's FOIA website, there's thousands of things that are out there. So is this what Q wants us to look at? Maybe this has something to do, because North Korea is in this document. So maybe this has something to do with the deep state's secret locations throughout the world. I don't know. All right, but we're going to get into the news now. Listen to this from the Gateway Pundit. Jimmy Kimmel insults nearly 250,000 GoFund the Wall donors, calls them dopey people and meth addicts. Jimmy Kimmel, you can eat a sock as far as I'm concerned. Jimmy Kimmel used his show to trash the nearly 250,000 people who have donated to a GoFundMe for a border wall, calling them dopey people and saying they are dipping into their meth money. The attack on conservatives who want to secure our borders came during the show on Thursday evening. The fundraiser has raised nearly $15 million in less than a week. Wow. Kimmel began his segment by trashing President Donald Trump over the government shutdown, saying basically Trump is taking paychecks from federal employees at Christmas time to punish Congress for not paying for a wall he swore 500 times Mexico would be paying for. So Feliz Navidad, everyone. But here's the twist. The twist is the president might not need Mexico or Congress to pay for the wall at all because there are some very dopey people ready to pay for it themselves. Wow, I don't know anybody who watches Jimmy Kimmel, but if there's anybody out there that is still watching Jimmy Kimmel, I would highly suggest that maybe you consider changing the channel. Kimmel then went on to insult nearly 250,000 people and taking aim at the GoFundMe creator Brian Kolfage, an Iraq war veteran and 3-time amputee. Oh, no, you didn't, Jimmy. This Trump supporter, a guy named Brian Kolfage, started a GoFundMe campaign to raise $1 billion for the wall. He launched it on Sunday. It's already up to almost 9 million, Kimmel began. People, this is what people do with their disposable income when they don't have loans from college to pay off. Oh, whatever. Donating money for a wall that will never exist. It's like starting a college fund for Harry Potter. It's a waste. A more useful thing to do with your money would be to go outside and feed it to a bird, but you do have to admire the sacrifice they're making. I mean, a lot of these people are dipping into their meth money for this, Kimmel asserted. What a piece. Jimmy Kimmel. Wow, I'm not even going to bother to play this video because I don't think that we need to hear that trash. Jimmy Kimmel. Bad man. All right, now this next story is a little graphic, you guys, so I'm going to give you the opportunity to turn away. You can see from the headline right there. From the Daily Caller, images of a Scandinavian woman murdered by ISIS sent to the victim's mother. This is just horrible. I saw it when this was breaking the other night. And there's really not a lot of media outlets that are reporting on it, probably because they don't want people to know that these people that did this, they don't want to know the nationality or the background of the people who did this. But images of the Scandinavian woman were sent to this girl's mother, and that poor woman, I can't imagine how horrible this is for her. Graphic images of 2 Scandinavian tourists brutally murdered in Morocco by radical terrorists were posted on the Facebook page of one of the victims' mothers, according to a report from the Daily Mirror. The victims were 24-year-old Louisa Vesterager Jespersen from Denmark and 28-year-old Maren Juland from Norway. The 2 Scandinavian students were beheaded in Morocco in what is believed to be an act of terrorism. No, it's definitely an act of terrorism. These guys posted the video themselves to their Twitter. They claimed allegiance to that terrorist organization, and very quickly it was taken down. According to Moroccan police, 4 students suspects who were arrested for the murders, had previously pledged their allegiance to ISIS in a social media video. Sick people. In a shocking development, the Facebook page of Maren Juland's mother, Irene, has been spammed with hundreds of horrible images of her daughter. Oh my God. These poor girls. Their only crime was being ignorant of what they were walking into. This is what multiculturalism does to us, guys. Irene Euland, Marin's mother, was bombarded on her Facebook page with hundreds of pictures. Photos of Strager Jesperson's, oh God, were also posted on Irene's page. Oh my God. I don't even want to report on this. The only reason I'm putting it out there is because I don't see it out there, okay? This is what happens, all right? Do not go to Morocco, all right? Do not go any place where it is a majority area like this, all right? Because you're not going to be safe. I don't want to fearmonger, but I just want to be intelligent about it. And this is what we are importing, okay, with immigration. Unchecked. All right, let's get on to some lighter news. From the Gateway Pundit, huge GOP rep introduces bill to remove liability protections from tech giants. Will force social media to pay for political discrimination. It's about time. Representative Louis Gohmert, God, I love that guy, pushed legislation on Thursday that will remove liability protections from liberal tech giants. The bill will force the tech giants to pay for their biased campaign against their political opponents. Representative Louis Gohmert says it is time for social media companies to be liable for any biased and unethical impropriety of their employees as any other media company. If these companies want to continue to act like a biased medium and publish their own agendas to the detriment of others, they need to be held accountable. As the Gateway Pundit reported earlier, it's no secret that Silicon Valley tech giants discriminate against conservatives and conservative content. Facebook has been shutting down traffic to conservative websites since the 2016 election. The Gateway Pundit spoke earlier with two of the top conservative publishers in America. Floyd Brown is a conservative author, speaker, and media commentator. In 2008, Floyd launched Western Journal, which quickly became one of the top conservative websites in America. By 2016, Floyd's organization of Western Journal and other conservative websites under his umbrella had more than 1 billion page views. Since 2016, Floyd's organization lost 75% of its Facebook traffic. Likewise, we spoke with Jared Villorani from Clicked Media. Jared traveled to Washington, D.C. with the Gateway Pundit and website owners at 100% Fed Up in June to discuss Facebook targeting against conservative publishers with Republican lawmakers. Jared told the Gateway Pundit his organization, Clicked Media, which hosts over 60 conservative websites, lost 400 million page views from Facebook in the last 6 months if you compared the traffic to a year ago. Jared said we lost 70% to 80% of our traffic if you compare January to May 2017 versus January to May 2018. If you combine the total number of page views lost by just these two conservative online publishers, you are looking at a loss of over 1.5 billion page views from Facebook in 1 year. These are numbers from just two of the top conservative media publishers in America. This does not include the thousands of other conservative publishers across the country who lost all of their traffic coming from Facebook. Here at the Gateway Pundit, our Facebook traffic has been effectively eliminated after we were ranked as the fourth most influential conservative publisher in the 2016 election. Facebook has also deleted prominent conservatives completely from their platform. Alex Jones, InfoWars, Laura Loomer, Gavin McInnes, triple amputee veteran Brian Kolfage, and Roger Stone have lost their pages in the last year. The fact that Facebook is targeting conservative publishers should not be a surprise to Gateway Pundit readers. We have been reporting on this for several months now. In July, we released a study where we looked at several top conservative websites and discovered that their publishers had lost an average of 93% of their Facebook traffic. I would say just don't even go on Facebook. Go seek these guys out yourself, guys. On Thursday, Congressman Gohmert pushed legislation that targets the liberal bias at the tech giants. Via Congressman Gohmert's webpage, this is a statement from his webpage. Social media companies like Facebook, Twitter, and Google are now among the largest and most powerful companies in the world. More and more people are turning to social media platforms for news than ever before, arguably making these companies more powerful than traditional media outlets. Yet social media companies enjoy special legal protections under Section 230 of the Communications Act of 1934, protections not shared by other media. Instead of acting like the neutral platforms they claim to be in order to obtain their immunity, these companies have turned Section 230 into a license to potentially defraud and defame with impunity. All right, we're going to leave it there, guys, because I think you get the picture. Thank you, Louis. God bless you. All right. Now, in a story that should surprise no one, Congress is considered to have the lowest ethics of all professions. Members of Congress are considered the least honest and ethical of professions, including telemarketers and car salespeople, according to a Gallup survey released Thursday. 58% of people said they had low or very low faith in the honesty and ethics of members of Congress, according to the survey. Only 44% of people surveyed said the same about car salespeople, and 56% said the same about telemarketers. Nurses came out on top of the survey, with 84% of people saying they would rate the honesty and ethical standards of nurses as high or very high. Nurses' high ratings were followed by physicians, pharmacists, and high school teachers. Members of Congress' poor honesty and ethics ratings have hovered around 60% of disapproval since 2016, but that's better than in 2013 when 66% of respondents gave them poor ratings. Only 8% of people said they would rate members of Congress as having high or very high honesty and ethical standards in 2018. 33% of respondents ranked members of Congress as having average honesty and ethical standards. Several scandals may have contributed to the poor reputation of members of Congress in 2018. They include Republican New York Rep. Chris Collins, who was indicted on insider trading charges in August, and Republican California Rep. Duncan Hunter, who says he's not guilty of allegations he misused roughly $250,000 in campaign funds. Both Collins and Hunter won re-election in the 2018 midterm elections. Hunter will face trial in September 2019 after he and his wife Margaret Hunter were indicted in August, according to roll call. Other professions examined by the Gallup survey include journalists, law enforcement officers, and clergy. Respondents were evenly split about whether they trusted journalists more or less than the average profession. 33% said they had high honesty, 31% rated them as average, and 34% said they had low honesty. Police officers were the top 5 highest rated professions, earning confidence from 54% of people. 15% of people surveyed rated clergy as having low honesty and ethics, and their positive ratings have been falling since 2012 after taking dips in certain years because of scandals. Well, all I got to say is that past behavior is an excellent indicator of future behavior. You know, I mentioned something yesterday about the state of the Catholic Church, and I want to make sure that everyone understands that if I am speaking out against an institution, it is the institution itself and not the people within that institution. Although the reason the institutions are behaving the way they are is most likely because of the rules and the mores inside those institutions carried out by the people there. That by no means for me to insinuate that all people in any profession or institution are horrible or corrupt or anything like that. Okay, I was raised Catholic. I've received all the sacraments up until this point, and I know that there are good people out there, but I just know that it's unfortunate that the worst people are the ones who seek the most power. Okay, and I hope we can all agree on that. All right, and not to say that Republicans are the only ones doing horrible things. D.C. Democrat took stock from Friends Company, pushed legislation to directly benefit. This is nothing new. One of D.C.'s Democratic City Council members, who is also the chair of the board of directors for the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, was reported to have received 200,000 shares of stock in a digital sign company shortly before pushing legislation that would directly benefit it. In-depth analysis by the Washington Post found that Councilman Jack Evans of Ward 2 not only accepted stock from Digi Outdoor Media, but also used his position on both the council and the WMATA board of directors to repeatedly assist the company as it entered the D.C. market in 2016. The very same year, Evans created the consulting firm that would later accept the 200,000 shares of stock. What a coincidence. Disclosure age statements show Evans earned between $50,001 and $100,000 in additional income during just the first half of 2018 from this consulting firm. Evans said he returned the shares of stock in Digi, estimated to be worth around $100,000, as soon as they were received. Well, why did you do that? Is it because you got caught? Digi's founder, Donald E. McCord, has a long history of financial dealings with Evans, including helping the councilman gather contributions for a Hillary Clinton campaign fundraiser held on Nantucket Island at the home of one of Evans' Georgetown constituents. Evans was co-chair of the Hillary Clinton for D.C. in both 2008 and 2016. There he is. Other monetary dealings included McCord donating money to Evans' Constituent Services Fund, a fund normally used to help with the general welfare of persons living within the ward. Though this money is often doled out in the form of financial assistance with unpaid utility bills or other emergencies, disclosure filings showed that Evans often used his Constituent Services Fund to buy tickets to sporting events. Apart from financial dealings, Evans also sought to secure a summer internship for his then 19-year-old son through his relationship with McCord, according to emails obtained by the WP. His son did not end up taking the internship because his interests were in art, not advertising, said Evans. As chair of WMATA's board of directors, Evans was able to help when McCord needed overnight access to a closed metro station. One of his staffers emailed WMATA directly. For 20 years, Jack Evans has been the gateway to every big business wanting to deal with D.C. government, from Ted Lerner to Donald Trump to Leonis to Marriott, plus almost every local developer, tweeted Jonathan O'McConnell, who covers real estate for the Washington Post. All of that may be viewed differently now. Evans sits on several of D.C. City Council's committees, including the Committee on Government Operations, which works to ensure accountability and wise use of taxpayer dollars across all the offices and agencies under its purview. How about some ringside tickets, guys? That seems like an excellent use of taxpayer dollars. WMATA told the Daily Caller they declined to comment at this time, and despite each D.C. City Council member having a full-time staff of 8, including a dedicated director of communications, only 3 council members spoke to the press. None of the other elected members of the all-Democrat council commented on the report, with 2 declining and 7 not responding to requests at all. According to the Washington Post, D.C.'s Mayor Muriel E. Bowser declined to comment through a spokeswoman. Similar attempts for comment by the Daily Caller were also met with no response. All right, well, what is the moral of this story? We really need to drain this swamp. And it's not just federal government, guys. It's our local governments, too. It's our state governments. There are good people out there, but there are so many bad people, okay? There's a preponderance of psychopaths and sociopaths who desire to coalesce power and just gather it to themselves and then use that for influence. This is disgusting. These people are supposed to be representing us, and all they do is represent their own interests. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I have been Red Pill 78, the corruption detector. This has been your Red Pilled Weekend News Brief, and I hope everyone has a blessed day.